Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of One Mic, where I watch shit so you don't have to. Today I'm here to talk about the Umbrella Academy, seasons 1 and 2. Um, this one, like my previous video about Titans, this one took me a while to get through. And again, this was not due to the quality of the show. It was this exact same situation as Titans. It was one of those things where like new things were coming up. I was really feeling those things. I'm like, okay, I want to watch this, I want to watch that, and I just didn't really have too much time for Umbrella Academy. I think it might have been I May Destroy You or Euphoria, something like that, where like my wife and I started watching Umbrella Academy. New thing comes out, and we're like, oh, now we're watching this. And Umbrella Academy got pushed back. So, and then Umbrella Academy was also split because we went through the first season, we started the second right away, and then something else came out that we then decided, okay, now we're gonna go with this thing, and we left the Umbrella Academy for another couple of months, sitting there on season one. I mean, episode one of season two. So, and that one, that one took a while, but Umbrella Academy I found to be pretty enjoyable. This is a show that does a remarkable job with its characters. And when we talk about ensemble cast, you think of like these casts like Ocean's 11, where you're chock full of big names, right? And this one is not that. You got an ensemble cast, and I've only seen one of these people before. Like the whole rest of this cast is all people who are new to me, and they all have done such interesting things with their characters. Number five. Oh, well, actually, before I even start talking about any of the characters again in detail, let me give a little bit of a background on the show itself. And again, I'm not going to spoil it, but it's essentially a group of kids were born on the same day, and they all have powers in one manner or another. And they are adopted by an individual who is now their father, and he trains them to become heroes. And the fact that they're all born on the same day is how he's able to discover them, like the same time, I should say, the same day and time. So they grow up, they become the Umbrella Academy, and they're like superheroes and shit, right? So that's pretty much the concept of the show. Each child, and it's tough to call them child because they're adults on the show, but each one is numbered based upon I don't know, I think based upon favorites, honestly, from 1 to 7, based upon who he liked the most. And each child, some of them have they each have regular names as well, but a lot of times some of them are referred to by their numbers more often than not, and some of them refer to their name. So for instance, number 1 is named Luther. He's almost never called number 1. He's always called Luther. And then number 5 is always called number 5, to the point that I can't even really recall what his name is right now because he's always called number 5. And they did a lot of interesting stuff with these characters. So number 5, he's my favorite. Number 5's the oldest of the group, but he can travel through time. Throughout his time traveling, actually, he could travel from one place to another. Actually, I can't say necessarily through time. He has traveled through time, but that is not his skill set. So through one of his time traveling trips, he somehow got trapped in the body of his child self that looks to be maybe like 13, maybe. I don't know how kids look these days, even though I have a son that's about to be 13. But he looks he's pretty young, but he's the oldest one out of the group. And this actor, I mean, man, this guy does a great job of portraying an adult in a kid's body. And I looked him up. He's actually like I don't remember how old he is, but he's over 18. And what was he, 17? Something like that though. But this guy, man, he does an excellent job of playing a older person who has the knowledge of a person who's just been on this earth a long time, and in his case, all over the earth and through all different times. He carries that knowledge of someone who has that ability or ability to do that, and it comes through, and it's so good. The fact that you watch this kid and you're like, this, my eyes are telling me this is kid, but he's doing such a good job. It's so easy to buy that he's an adult. So great stuff with him. They have another one, Klaus. See, Klaus, I don't know Klaus's number, but Klaus has the ability to communicate with the dead. he also has a pretty big substance abuse problem. So really interesting. Klaus is probably my second favorite character. You got Diego. He's really good with throwing knives and shit like that and fighting. You got what's the oh gosh, I'm not even gonna describe all of them anyway. But you get the general idea. They have different powers or whatever, and but more importantly is the unique aspects of their personalities. Like Klaus's personality of having a substance abuse problem, but being like a unique kind of like hippie almost kind of guy. You got like number 5, like I said, he has all this wisdom of an older person, but he's in a child's body, which is a very unique task to give a kid to play. And Diego's a badass. Luther's kind of like the boss. Vanya's the most powerful, but the least respected. And I can't remember the name of the black girl. I think her name's Ashley or something like that. Something with an A. She has the worst power, by the way. I'm not even going to tell you what it is. It's like if you're something you're going to watch, you just watch it and just see how whack her power her power is. But they do a lot of great stuff with her in season 2. Each of the characters get dropped off in the past in a different time. And she builds an entirely new life during like the civil rights movement in Texas. And, she marries a guy and he gets into civil rights, and they're talking about staging a sit-in on the day of the Kennedy assassination, although they obviously don't know it's the day of the Kennedy assassination, but they plan something for that day, just because the president's going to be in town. And, they find a way to make you connect with these characters in one way or another. So I think that's like the best thing about this show is how good it does with building these characters, making them interesting, and making you continue to be interested in them, even as circumstances change from season to season or from event to event. Because Klaus is very different in season 2 than he is in season 1, but it's still Klaus. He's still likable, but he's evolved. So, or devolved, depending on how you may look at it. But they do a great job with the characters. My problem with the show is mainly the fact that season 1 and season 2 are exactly the same. And I don't understand how there is a group of people who say season 2 is way better than season 1. It's the exact same fucking show. Exactly the same. Like, I don't know how they rationalize season 2 being better. The only difference with season 2 is that my nose is really itchy for some reason. Does that mean something? I don't do cocaine, I swear. They drop each kid off in the past in the same place but in different times, and seeing them deal with their lives in that time, see how they've created new lives for themselves, because some have been there for a couple of years. So creating new lives for themselves, and then trying to reintegrate as they start to find each other in different times. Like, that was a unique aspect of this show. But the changes that they made to the characters, I think, hurt the show, which is interesting to me, again, because people said they think season 2 is better. I think season 2 might be a little bit worse, because they took Klaus and they made him like this hippie cult leader kind of guy, and that didn't really work for me. And then they took Diego and made him comic relief, which was really fucking weird. Like, he's like the badass of the group in season 1, and then in season 2 he's still supposedly the badass, but he's like, you could tell he's supposed to be like kind of like a clownish buffoon kind of, and I don't see why they took so much of the badassness out of Diego in season 2. And then the worst part of it all was that the season 1 plot line was that they needed to stop an impending apocalypse. At the end of season 1, they have supposedly stopped said apocalypse. And then in season 2, they are dropped off back in time. And what do they discover? That I did not make this up. This is what they say on the show. The apocalypse followed them, so they have to stop the apocalypse again. Yeah. 2 seasons, both stopping an apocalypse. Yeah. So, on top of giving me the exact same show again, they actually managed to make a couple of I'm not gonna say my favorite, because Diego was never one of my favorites, but 2 of the more interesting characters, and somehow managed to make them worse. So They did a good job with number 5 again. They continue to make number 5 interesting. They did a whole lot of good stuff with the other characters. They actually gave Vanya more to do in the first season than they did in the second one as well. So that could actually be another knock. They gave her a nice story revolving around her meeting a guy when she's been treated as an outcast of the family for her entire life, and now she comes across this guy, and he's good to her and he treats her well, and those are the kinds of things that we can relate to, right? You know, you I'm sure at some point a lot of you guys might have been outcasts or felt alone in some way or another. So that allows us to kind of relate to Vanya a little bit and give us make us care about her more. Now she's just like a super powered, she just does shit. Her power is not even really clearly defined. Like, they defined it in the first season, but now it's just like float in the sky energy blast, like stupid shit, kind of like Magneto in it was either, I didn't even see the Dark Phoenix X-Men, so it was the one before that, Apocalypse, I think, where it's like he's floating in the air and there's just like metal just flying around him in a circle, like the same shit that it's how Suicide Squad ended, it's how Wonder Woman ended, where it's like you just have a being that's just floating in the air just doing shit that, and there's no explanation for what it is that they're doing or where it came from. It's like, so there's no idea on how to fix it. Like, so I don't understand the stakes other than the fact that shit's bad if all you do is you just got a character just floating in the air doing things. Like, I don't know, just energy bursts or whatever. And they did that with Vanya a lot this season, and that's a huge thumbs down to me. I don't like that. So for multiple reasons, I actually feel like season 2 is less than season 1. But having said that, I don't not recommend this show. I still think Umbrella Academy is actually really entertaining. It's like a good popcorn watch. Like, they say a popcorn movie, like, those summer Michael Bay blockbusters. And this is by no means as dumb as a Michael Bay movie, but making the point that, a popcorn movie might be like a Michael Bay movie where you go in there, you kind of turn your brain off, you pop in your popcorn, and you watch shit get blown up and good action sequences. And Umbrella Academy is a better version of that, like popcorn TV, where it's not going to get too deep, but it's entertaining. It has a lot of action. The characters are super interesting and entertaining. And you can kind of turn your brain off and just, you don't have to think too hard. You just pop in your popcorn and just watch it. So I'd give Umbrella Academy like a solid, maybe like B+ kind of grade. I think it's definitely worth watching if it's one of those things where you like, and a lot of people get into this situation where it's like, I've watched this show that's been recommended. I've watched this show that's been recommended. I watched this show that's been recommended. What do I watch tonight? I don't have anything else. Umbrella Academy is a good thing to kind of start on. If you're not looking for like a heavy lift, like I'm not going to sit here and say watch Westworld. If you want to watch, if you're in that mood, definitely watch Westworld. But if you don't really want to know what to watch and you kind of want to kill time watching something entertaining, Umbrella Academy is perfect for that. So not a high recommendation. Season 1, season 2, virtually the same. I feel like the plot being the same brings season 2 down a notch, and I feel like some of the choices they made with a couple of the characters in season 2 brings it down another notch. But overall, despite those two notches, it's still a pretty solid show, and it's fun. So I'd recommend it tepidly, but I'd recommend it. So check out Umbrella Academy. Both seasons on Netflix. Third season is coming, I believe. I'm pretty sure. And actually, they did a good setup for season 3. So like, unlike Titans, which I recorded and posted yesterday, unlike Titans, I'm in on season 3 of Umbrella Academy. I think it's like I said, it's a funner show. It's more entertaining, but they set up season 3, and what they set up is interesting. And and I told my wife, if they close out everything that they set up for season 3 in the first episode and go back to a third apocalypse, I'm out. Like, fuck this show, I'm done. But if they do a season with the setup that they did at the end of season 2, I'll rock with that. That should be good. So that's all for Umbrella Academy. I'll be back soon with a number of other things. I ran off a few things at the end of the Titans video, so if you want to have an idea of what's coming up, check out the Titans video. I run through a couple of things there at the end. Till then, rate, comment, subscribe, share, like, critique, all that good stuff. You like it better with me being a little bit farther from the camera, so having my face all the way up, pressed up against the screen? Let me know. So I'll be back soon. Oh, The Expanse. I forgot that one. The Expanse is always coming. Expanse video coming soon as well once that drops. Peace.